We're joined right now by the management of Blue Star. Mr. B. Thiagarajan, Executive Director and President, joins us. Thank you so much, Mr. Thiagarajan. Everyone's been talking about the impact of demonetization on even organized big players like you. How is it affecting you, and how do you expect it to affect?
Good morning. Thank you for talking to me. When it was announced, everyone thought that within a week's time it is going to settle down. This is an unprecedented move, right? So whomsoever is expressing their views, it is their fear, their hope, their anxieties, their beliefs, and that is what is getting expressed. I am of the opinion every day we are discovering something new. And as of now, the room air conditioners market, the secondary movement has come to more or less a standstill. November is going to be a very, very poor month, and I think December also will be bad. And having said that, it is happening for this industry in the winter lean season. Okay, we all had a fantastic summer followed by a great festival season. Blue Star had grown by over 35% in room air conditioners sales, and therefore these 2 months of pain is something which is manageable. And I think January also may be bad. Our assessment at this point of a time is somewhere towards the end of February, market will revive and the summer season preparation will go on well. So I think Q3 will be a flat quarter compared with last year. Q4 probably the growth should revive. This is where we are. And having said this, the thing is in tier 3, 4, 5 cities, or towns, we have close to 60% of the sales happening through cash. It is not black money, but the dealers say that, look, I can't accept a check from a customer, so I have to wait for realization of the check. So therefore the convenient way of transaction is cash. And credit card limits may not be there for those customers for 35,000, 40,000 rupees. And at the same time, 70% of the buyers are first-time buyers. It is not a discretionary purchase that way. It is a purchase which is made as a necessity. Therefore, I am confident that in Q4, towards February and March, the growth should revive.
So in terms of those who, you said that tier 3, tier 4 towns, most of it is in cash, 70% in cash. In terms of your total sales, how much of it goes to these tier 2, tier 3 towns?
Something like 50%. Right. So I will put it in right perspective that in tier 1, 2, there will be 30% cash sales. In tier 3, 4, 5, 60%. And around 30% across all towns happens on 0% finance scheme, which has got no cash or no credit card purchases. And the balance happens through credit card or money transfer, that kind of mode. And so therefore, it is a pain point at this point of a time.
So the 0% finance scheme, it's the retailer who gives it, or you have deals with banks or NBFCs who work with you?
We work with the NBFCs, but the interest component is bought back by the company and the dealer together. So we equally share the burden in most cases. In some cases the company is made, but it depends on the pricing mechanism. So it is not the NBFC who is going to bear the financing cost, nor the customer. So this has been on the rise. So see, a couple of years ago it used to be only 10%. So suddenly it has been going up. As the consumption is growing, it has reached something like 30% is this financing scheme.
But sir, would you agree that some of these people who actually opt for a zero financing scheme, because it is, people have understood that there is an interest cost that they're gaining, by going into the 0% sign-on scheme. Many of them would actually also perhaps be, a large part of their income might actually be in cash or from the informal sector, and that is now in trouble.
Probably, as I told you, that we are discovering many things as the days goes by. Like, for example, I understood only last week there is something called chit funds. The tier 3, 4, 5 people save the money through contributing 10,000 rupees a month, 5,000 rupees a month, 10 of them together, and every month somebody discounts and take that money. Right. That is used for such purchases. And so therefore multiple ways of coping with the problem will emerge. So one will wait and see. I think all this will be sorted out by January, February. Each stakeholder is trying to figure out a way. We are also trying to enable what other mechanisms can be there in order to expedite sales.
In terms of the people, dealers who take cash, what happens? Do they also transfer the money to you in cash, or they convert it into bank deposits and you get it through the banking system?
Not at all. In a sense, we deal only in check or demand drafts. So there is no question of cash transaction between us and the dealers at all. That way, I don't think in the industry itself it happens. It is all pure about transactions.
No, as you mentioned right at the beginning, cash is not black.
Commodities and excise paid,
I'm saying that cash is not black. It's a common mistake a lot of people right now are making, that cash is black. That is a legitimate transaction to make in cash. 40% of retail sales in the US is cash. So it's not as if it's necessarily black. I'm just saying that do you have to deal with...
I agree with you.
Do you have to deal in cash? Let's say when your trucks go out, do you have to make those payments in cash? Do you need to take it out from the bank and make those payments? Are those affected at all?
I am fully in agreement with you. I am not calling all cash as black at all, and at the same time all our transactions are in check. So let us say a transporter, it is a third party outsourced logistics provider, so therefore he may be paying a toll or octroi or a secondary loading unloading in cash. So in no way as a corporate we are dealing with cash at all in none of our transactions.
So just want to move a little forward. You said that Q3 and Q4 you expect a recovery. You know, a lot of people are talking about this entire process of returning cash into the system will take about 6 months. And some pessimistic outlook appears to be 12 months as well, because the RBI has till 31st of March in any case to take back the old note. So it's not going to replace everything immediately. Do you expect the summer season also to be affected a little bit? Because some people make these advance purchases probably from March onwards.
As I mentioned to you, there are many theories that are floating around, right? That somebody is saying it will be 6 months, somebody have said that it will be another 1 year before everything revives. But I am only saying that my assessment is that by February end, March, it should revive as far as air conditioners are concerned. And normally I am very pessimistic, but I am seeing that this is likely to happen. So therefore, one lives on the assessment, right, based on the market conditions. So we will wait and see. I'm not, this is something happening for the first time. You yourself have been observing it day by day from 10th onwards, how the markets are adjusting itself, and everybody has got some theory to be shared. But my best assessment is it is very likely that the market revives. Of course, if the summer one would have seen 30% growth as a forecast for the period March to June, July 2017, actually the sentiment will not be there to plan for such a high level of growth. So therefore, one would be preparing for something like 15 to 20% growth. This particular exercise, as of now, we are putting on hold. We will review it once in 2 weeks in order to get a picture what needs to be done. As I told you, that the view of the future in normal circumstances itself would have been difficult. At this point of a time, it is much more challenging. And we needed to plan for the raw materials and the factory plan, the distribution plan much in advance. So we needed to do it in stages, and this was something which was not anticipated at the beginning of the year. Right. Normally the orders would have been placed, marketing plan would have been frozen, distribution plan would have been frozen, warehousing spaces would have been blocked. And I would also like to remind you that there is another challenge, which is GST. Assuming that the GST is going to be implemented from 1st of April, you will have certain transition rules clarity which is necessarily needed. What will happen to the goods billed on the dealers on 31st of March or prior to that period, how it will be treated in the GST regime in the month of April, and or the raw materials that I procured, how it is going to be treated. Those rules are not yet out at all. And even what we are talking about as 28%, it is not frozen. We do not know as of now. Air conditioners is going to be 28. The indications are that it will be 28%. So if the price is going to go up in the month of April, people can end up buying in the month of March itself. So there is a possibility that happens. So therefore, too many uncertainties. And one will have to cope with this. Life goes on, it is challenging times. Right. We have to wait and watch every week and keep interacting with the field. We are talking to almost more than 160 dealers across the country in Tier 3, 4, 5, Tier 1, 2. It is what they are planning to do. What are they seeing? What the customers are saying. This is an activity which the system had not foreseen. But we are now gearing up to cope with this situation.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure talking to you. That's B. Thiagarajan, Executive Director of Blue Star Limited. Shaktikanta